Alright, Knights of Apollo, what's up guys? It's Apollo here, hope you guys are doing well, and of course, welcome back to another glorious battle in Total War Rome 2. This is a 3 vs 3 at Carthage. We got some really intriguing factions here today. So, let me just say this, in a nutshell, the defenders are gonna have quite the challenge. Why? Well, let's look at their factions. Iceni's a pretty good faction defending. They're not terrible, not certainly the best, but they can do their own on defense. They can hold their own, is what I was trying to say. And then we have 2 armies from Pontus, all right? Pontus. We've been seeing a lot of Pontus lately, which I'm happy for. You know, I'm happy to see them. But they're not the best of factions in the game. And what are we going to be seeing from the other side? 3 of the best factions in the game. We top tier factions. So we have Rome, and they decided, they're like, you know what, Carthage, you guys aren't that bad. So we're going to fight with you. So Carthage is here, and then we have Macedon, which you could say is like, what, a Roman vassal or something. So I guess if we're trying to put a storyline to this, Pontus, hired some Iceni mercenaries and took Carthage randomly, I guess, and Carthage was like, whoa, Rome. Alright, I know we hate each other, but you know what? We got bigger fish to fry. We got Pontus over here, and if Pontus takes me out, then he's gonna go for you. So they're like, alright, well, just this one time, we're gonna work together and take him out. Take back Carthage, I guess. I don't know. It's a terrible storyline, but that's why we play Rome too, because we can make these fake storylines. Anyways, we got Triari charging up here first from Rome. That's definitely a good sign for the defenders. Triari are not great. They're not that good. In terms of the first unit to charge in, I wouldn't have the Triari as the first. I would have like a sorted unit. I would keep the Triari kind of in the back because they're a spearman unit essentially. And I would keep them in the back and just have them as a reserve unit against Cav or a defensive unit if you need to hold a choke point or something like that. But yeah, and it looks like he's sending another unit of Triari. Why? Triari going in first, and there's another unit of Triari. My goodness. Alright, but he does have some swords, Praetorians, some deadly swords on the battle. Oh, look at this sally out here. We have some cav from Pontus coming out, doing some damage against the Roman swordsmen. The Romans are trying to deal with it, and they are dealing with it pretty effectively. They are breaking. He's going to try to get his cav out of there. Looks like they get caught up here on some Praetorian guard. It's not looking good. If they can get them out of the fight, they might recover and come back to the battle. Over this way, we have Carthage breaking down the walls. He's got some Libyan infantry ready to charge in. He's also breaking down this wall. Carthage is just full-on attacking, man. He is attacking multiple points. I love it. Over here, he's got more Libyan infantry. So, yeah, I like Carthage's. So far, I think Carthage is making the best push here. And I feel like this is one of the more important walls to take. So Iceni, it's up to them to hold. Also with some Pontus troops supporting Iceni. But my concern is, what the heck is Macedon doing? They need to get over there. They need to support this assault. It looks like he's going the long way to attack this wall. I don't think it's worth it. I think you should stay close to your teammates and start pushing nearby flanks to kind of help your teammates push through. But it looks like Carthage is not quite charging into the breach points. Unfortunately, I don't know why this happens. I don't know if this is a bug or something, but this tortoise just was not able to bring down the wall. Rome is like full on attacking. He's gonna like take this wall. Now the good news for the Triari, excuse me, is that they're taking on Levy Freeman, and Levy Freeman aren't that good, so they should be able to beat them. Over this way, it looks like he's not really having any resistance. He's just, one of his towers are stuck, I assume. But yeah, he's just taking the walls here, taking the towers. the gate. Trying to capture, or at least neutralize it. I don't think he'll be able to take it completely. So yeah, pretty solid push here by Rome. The only thing I would say that I didn't like is sending in Triari first. But I think I made my point clear there. I guess I don't really need to beat a dead horse. Anyways, here's Libyan infantry. Finally, Carthage is pushing in. I'm not sure why Iceni won't go for a quick charge. I mean, I know he's waiting for reinforcements to come in, but if he can just get a quick charge. There he goes. There he goes. Beautiful. If he could just quickly charge in there and then fall back as soon as Carthage sends up more troops, but it doesn't look like Carthage is sending in more troops. That's a pretty, yeah, that's a disappointment. You would think like pushing in troops at any moment, like if I saw that, right, if I was Carthage and I saw that Iceni pushed in those chosen swordsmen, or sword band, I would quickly reinforce the counter, like basically counter flank them and hit them on the side as they were charging in. But Carthage is taking more of a slower approach, guys. Once you commit to the walls, most cases you gotta just keep committing. Don't give up. You know what I mean? Like, don't charge in and be like, ah, there's no way I'm gonna win this, and then just let the troops who charged in die. Like, send in oh, look at this. Oh my god. Oh, so close. Good map awareness. Oh, he's still gonna get a couple though. He's gonna get a lot of his own troops though. He needs to stop. Just stop. Wait. Oh. Carthage, you just killed your entire... Whoa, they survived. That unit, 3 of them survived. I've never seen that before. 3 men who are up on the wall. Okay, wow. So much for that. It's like... It was like the mercenary Celtic warriors here were like, okay, no, these guys are too strong. They just survived the crumbling of a wall. Focus all fire. Oh. That's the saddest end to a unit that survived something so tragic. They lost their entire unit except for those 3, and I was rooting for them, and just dead. Dead. They look like porcupines. But here comes Macedon. They're finally sending up some Thorax swordsmen into the mix. Yeah, I mean, so far, Rome has the best push here. Sending in some of their heavy melee infantry. Over here, they're also pushing infantry, the Praetorians. But they're just too outnumbered, too much. What I would do at this point, right, is I would put a unit right here, like a sword unit, to defend troops from coming up like they are now. And then send an archer unit right here and just shoot down at enemies. He can still do it if he sends, yeah, he's gonna send this unit over this way. But God, that was tragic. I'm still thinking about the 3 brave souls who survived the crumbling of the wall. They survived a tumble, only to get like turned into Swiss cheese by the Javies. But Macedon needs help here. We gotta send in more troops. Like, you can't just sit there and watch them die. I don't understand this logic. And look at this duel. Oh, no, 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 don't go, don't go. There was a duel up here. I was like, oh, it's cool. 1v1 up so everybody could see. But yeah, please send in reinforcements. I feel like the attackers are being a little slow with their reaction. Okay, I don't know what happened here. I think there was a bit of a sally out. I do apologize about that. And it looked like Carthage was going to go in, but they decide not to. They're going to try to bring down another wall, bringing a lot of tortoises to the battle. Triari is now pushing. No reinforcements nearby. Iceni has a force of ambushers and cav out here. Yeah, that's probably why Rome is holding on to reinforcements back here. Because I don't. I mean, obviously he sees the veteran riders, but I don't think he sees the ambushers. But we'll see what Iceni does. That's what Iceni's so good with. And here we go. Here's a big push by Carthage. Finally. And Macedon is throwing in some pikes. Beautiful. Now we're gonna see some attackers try to take some ground. But yeah, that's the thing about Iceni is that when you're taking them on and they're defending, always look out for sally out troops. Never assume that they're just all inside, because Iceni have some very good ambush troops, like the ambushers. So you gotta look out for those and keep your eyes open. Have good map awareness. There's also a unit way over. Oh, it's just a. What the heck? We got a random. I didn't even know you could put a ballista over here. I guess it's for beach landings. That's cool though. Let's go back here where it looks like Macedon is attacking the far wall near the capture point. I mean, it's not a terrible idea. You're trying to spread out the defenders, but you yourself, you're spreading out your own army as well. So I don't know if this is gonna work out for him. And I don't know why he stopped attacking this wall when this unit could lose half its strength. I don't know. I think Pontus is not aware of this. Look at that. Firing down. Trying to soften up the unit that could kill them. So, I don't know what's happening here. I think they... Oh. They probably glitched out. Yeah, they're glitched out. He's trying. He's trying, but it's just not going to happen. I don't know how that happened. How did it get to 77% and then now it's just not working? Yeah. That's too bad. So this unit's going to live. Doesn't even have to worry about it. Let's go back over here where we're actually seeing some braking from the Iceni. Alright guys, sorry about that. Had a little bit of a crash, so we should be back right where we left off, which is yeah, the 25-minute mark. Here comes that charge that we were just about to we were going to see, but it crashed. And it's weird because Rome 2 usually does not crash for me. That's why I play it all the time, you know, like because it's just so solid. But yeah, we've got the Cav pushing in, the companion Cav, really trying to push the momentum here of the attackers, trying to get through this Iceni force. And we are seeing some progress here. Macedon breaking Iceni. There's a small unit of chosen swordband trying to hold them back. We now have Macedon pushing up some of their Peltis. It looks like they went with all 4 Peltis, which is something I would never do. I would definitely bring archers to the table just because they have a longer range. They can kill, you know, units from a greater distance. But if you use the Peltis well, you know, it should get a lot of, they should do a lot of damage. But here's a nice push by some hoplites. I wouldn't send hoplites to the walls just because they're not as good as, say, swordsmen on the walls. But they're definitely causing Pontus to commit forces to this wall and try to defend it. So obviously they don't get outflanked over on this side. But if they can, the attackers can quickly break through here and then get up behind the troops who are defending the wall. They could easily surround them, but there is some reserve forces here, like these throw spears, ready to hold. Back this way, looks like we got some infantry charging in. Let's see, what is a sword band coming in? They're still trying their best to try to hold this position. It's a very close fight. Both sides are pretty depleted, pretty tired. Here comes some reinforcements, though. Iceni is not giving this up just yet. Got some mercenary Italian swordsmen from Carthage pushing through, trying to get through here against the chosen sword band. Very nice. This is basically their reserve force right here. We got some noble fighters, African pikemen, Samnite warriors, and their elephant general, or the general who's riding on an elephant. It would be funny if they had an actual elephant general. Over this way, oh god, the ambushers have been thrown into the fight. Surprise, surprise. They've now surrounded these legionaries. And this is not a good sight if you're rooting for Rome as the Iceni. Oh, look at this, though. Rome's not done. They're sending in some Praetorian cav. Oh, that's an expensive cav unit. Good charge in the back of these ambushers. They might just win here. The unit is winning decisively. And that's why Iceni's going to go ahead and peel his cav out of here to support against the other cav. And I think Rome knows that. Rome's going to fall back. Good. That's not a terrible move there by Rome. But I think he's in trouble now. Yeah, he's going to lose this fight now. So they're now falling back. Rome still has a decent reserve force as well. Legionaries. Some Hastati, which honestly, I think he should have used the Hastati first. In that, when he first initially started attacking the walls. I think that would have been better for him. Well, let's go back over here, where it looks like Iceni mixed in with Pontus is going to be doing a pretty good job here of holding. All the momentum has kind of been halted for the attackers. They're trying to get their way through a really good grind of a fight for this outer wall. And here comes reinforcements, guys. I think here's the Samnite Warriors. This is part of the reserve force. I think Carthage is going all in. No, he still has some reserve troops. He still has a lot of reserve troops. So it's just, yeah, it's really becoming like a nasty brawl for this area. I mean, this is where probably so far like 70% of where the casualties have taken place. A gruesome fight that just will not come to an end. Every time you think it's going to come to a close, the defenders send up reinforcements and vice versa. The attackers will send up reinforcements. And it's just a very back and forth battle for this open area of the settlement. And here comes more reinforcements. Pontic swordsmen just strolling their way into the rear of the Samnite warriors. They've got to send up more. This is what I'm talking about. Like, they've got to have their reinforcements closer by so they can quickly reinforce their push, because this is a problem right here. And look at, he's gonna break this unit so quickly. He's gonna push in. Archers are firing down on this unit. Where's the reinforcements? They're too far away, and this unit's gonna be lost. And I think that's one thing I see with newer players, is just you gotta have reinforcements nearby so you can react quickly. You can't have them so far back that it's gonna take them a whole minute, 30 seconds to get to where they need to go. They've got to get in position quickly. And now the ambushers, after destroying that Roman unit, they're gonna go ahead and start pushing this wall and try to maybe attack this wall here, put pressure on them. We got some Romans up here kind of hanging back. Maybe they're waiting for a good opportunity to attack. Some Praetorians firing down. It's pretty cool. I always love the shots of troops firing down. Look at that. Good old Praetorian Guard. Ooh, the sun rays. Oh, that's so cool. Just looking down on the battlefield. Anyways, let's go back over here where the fighting is still going on. Very intense fighting. And so far, it looks like the defenders are taking this area. It does look like, because over here, it's, oh my god. Pontus is pushing out. Look at this. The defenders are feeling so confident in this battle. They're going to risk potentially losing a lot of units. And they're going to push out of the city, where you see Carthage has taken a defensive position. They're noble fighters. And we also have some mercenary noble fighters over in the end here. They've taken a defensive position, and they're ready to hold against this force. Now, here's the thing, though. They're outnumbered. Well, kind of. We got some support here by some companion cav from Macedon. So this is going to be a really curious engagement. And oh, Carthage is falling back a little bit. He doesn't like what he sees. Now that makes sense, because we do have some spearmen over here that are going to definitely help out the cav battle against Carthage. And the fact that Carthage's, or not Carthage, Mastodon's cav is looking the other way has me a little concerned that he's not paying attention and doesn't realize that this is coming for him. And the fact that he hasn't moved yet still has me very concerned. Oh no. Mastodon, please. Please, Mastodon. Now this is a really, really gutsy move by the defenders, and they're basically telling the attackers like, hey, I mean, not intentional, but like you're giving the attackers a chance to turn this around by getting so confident like this. I mean, I like this move because we don't get to see it all the time. It's certainly one I wouldn't do because, you know, you're basically just trying to throw away the battle. If you lose this decisively, you're throwing away the battle. I mean, this cav could flank around. We got a general over here that could fall. I mean, it's really risky. And here we go. Here's the charge. Mercenary noble fighters against Pontic swordsmen. And Cav is now going... Oh, very good move with the Cav. He's going to peel him towards the infantry and charge. Very good Cav charge. I like that. Okay, here comes a flank. But please, Carthage. Yes, Carthage is there with that extra reserve force. Nice little volley. Oh. Softening up their lines, and they're going to charge in and support their comrades in this fight. They need infantry over here, though. They need infantry. The Cav just ran through the Pontic infantry. Now they're going to go and charge the rear of this force, trying to support their infantry who's fighting the front lines. The archer fire from the walls, though, are not helping them whatsoever. It was a good move by Pontus to use the walls, and look at that. Look at that. We get a nice view of this battle. Love how they like kneel down to reload, actually using the cover of the walls. Look at that. A brutal fight on the outside of the wall. That's what I love. I just love it. Now we got some pikemen from Pontus closing in. Where did they come from? Oh my god, they're pushing out of their walls. They're pushing out of the walls. Why? I mean, I know they have a solid position. Like, they're doing so well in the battle so far. I know that. But, like, you really risk losing this lead. Nice little charge there in the rear from the companion cav. Trying to save their hoplites, which it looks like it's going to be close. We got a unit of cav trying to get, basically being surrounded by swordsmen and pikemen. They're going to peel out of there and keep fighting. This battle over here is still underway. Macedon needs to get more involved. I mean, this cav unit needs to get going. Yeah, there we go. Macedon needs to use their other 2 units of cav. I think they just got here or something. I mean, the elephants might need to go in as well. Deal with these pikemen, hit them on the flank. But yeah, they're just swallowing whole of this Pontic unit with cav and infantry. It's looking good. And this is a great opportunity to kill pikemen from afar, which they are. The pikemen are falling back. You kill pikemen, you have a chance. Oh yeah, they're down to 95. And again, foolish sally out there, as the defenders will win this one. And now they can focus on their push. The balance of power went back to even. Before, it was in favor, slightly, of the defenders. And this early on in the battle, the favor being in your favor, the favor being in your favor, the battle, what I'm trying to say is the balance of power being in your favor this early as a defender is just perfect. It means you're doing really well. I would say it's still slightly in their favor. But that was cool. Nonetheless, it was cool to see the sally out. And here comes Iceni throwing in some chosen sword band. Getting around the Romans. The Romans are going to follow up on that charge. Trying to countercharge, get rid of the Iceni ambushing troops that sallied out. There you go. Pontus still fighting over here against the hoplites. Some Carthage swordsmen trying to clean up what's left of Pontus that's sallied out. And looking at the defenders, they still have a ton of reserves. They still have a ton of infantry, ton of reserves. Rome's still hanging up here. Finally, Pontus is pushing Rome, getting them off the walls. That's really good, because if you can get rid of these Romans here, that's one less flank you have to worry about. And here comes the ambushers, sallying out, trying to counterflank. And Pontus, once again, is charging out his pikemen. Look at that. Just a mess. Why? Why sally out? Just let them come to you. You are the defender. But, yeah, Carthage, Macedon, trying to surround this unit of spears. Should take them out fairly quickly here. Now we've got archers and cav being thrown into the mix against these eastern archers, who I assume are out of ammo. And then, of course, the sally out over here where the Hastati are taking on these Pontic swordsmen. Combat is even. They're actually breaking some of the Pontic swordsmen. That's good. It's a good sign. Rome is pushing with their legionaries. So finally, we've got the attackers kind of reclaiming this land and pushing where they were once defending. The attackers were defending against the defenders sally out. And finally, they are pushing back into the city, which is good to see. But I just worry. I mean, they still have a decent force here, right? They still have, let's see, African pikemen, Libyan infantry. They have all these skirmishers, some cav. They have the elephants. Like, they can still win this battle. It's not impossible. Now, it's pretty obvious the skill level, and I don't mean to be harsh or anything, but the skill level for these players are a little lower. You know, they're not terrible by any means, but they're definitely, you know, not like pro tier or anything. But I still think they have the tools and equipment to win this battle in terms of units. I think they can pull this off. I'm kind of rooting for the attackers. I feel bad for them. They're getting sallied out by just like everyone. By infantry. More archers charging in. And Rome is still hanging on here. We got African pikemen. A unit of 31 trying to help out Rome, but they're starting to break. They need to send up more reinforcements here. They can't let this area fall. Yeah, Pontus is controlling this center with this sally out push. They gotta, like, everyone needs to start pushing in. Like, if you're gonna try to keep the units that are currently fighting alive, you gotta start pushing. And I understand he's a little afraid to push in the elephants, and I would be too, because of all the skirmishers. You don't want this unit to break, but you can save them for the very last or something. Just send in this infantry. You got the African pikemen. They'd be a huge help. Over here, we've got Pontus. He's got a little bit of a defense here, just in case. Oh, no. Are they pushing for the town center? Oh, no. It looks like they're shifting units over to attack this area. If they can get there quickly, maybe, but they've got a unit of pikemen that are, okay, they're pushing. I was like, are they sallying out? Oh my god. No, they're holding this position, which is going to delay them from coming into the walls. Because if this unit of pikemen, they weren't here, then yeah, they could easily push through and go for a cap and just try to hold this position and win. But there's a unit of pikemen, and you're not going to be able to push through quickly. And then, you know, these troops will be able to shift in time. So I think they realized that. Maybe they didn't see the pikemen, and that's why they're falling back a little bit. I hope. And here comes Pontus, just open, like, look at this. He's not even getting punished for this. Seriously, take a moment here and look at this. All right? He is just no care in the world, flanking around the attackers. These units could have charged in. These units could have charged in and stopped them. These units over here could have charged in and stopped him. That would have been 2 less defending swordsmen. But they just, not even like a care in the world, just walk around unharassed. You know what I mean? Like, just not even, don't even care. Oh, you're going to flank around and kill our troops? That's okay. So that's a huge loss. That's a big opportunity here for the attackers to try to chip their way, climb their way back into this battle. Rome is peeling away from the fight, but he needs to stay in this fight. You can't turn around and deal with these guys. Alright, here we go. Here's some cav. Yeah, it's not looking good. The fact that they keep charging in waves is a troubling sign. Companion cav. Going in for the charge. A decent charge on these pikemen because they weren't in formation. Yeah, I would go. I would get these skirmishers up there. Start. Oh, they're out of ammo. They have their swords out. At least I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this looks like it's over, guys. Oh man. So we still have 7 minutes left in this replay, but just looking at the balance of power, looking at the overall forces, the attackers stood no chance. No chance at all. Even though they had these stacked factions, right? We had Rome, Macedon, Carthage, really good factions that can, you know, kick some butt. You know, they could really do a lot of damage. It just, and they were taking on 2 Pontus armies. Pontus is not good. Like, I'm just gonna be honest. I mean, Pontus is good in the right hands, but you know, if this was a competitive match, you know, if this was like a tournament match and I saw these factions, I'd be like, oh my god, there's no way the defenders are gonna win this. But since these are players that seem to be kind of a little on the newer side, they did fantastic. And the biggest reason I think that the attackers really struggled, and I know some of you guys don't like these battles where the skill level is a little lower, but I think it's important to upload these every once in a while because you can learn from these players. And again, the players, you know, I'm not being, everybody starts somewhere, you know what I mean? Like, we're all learning to get better. I'm not the best at this game by any means. I could always get better. I'm not trying to be mean here or anything. I'm just trying to be helpful, give some advice, and because at the end of the day, it's all about having fun, playing a video game. You know, it's just a video game, having fun, doing these battles, and just enjoying Total War. But, you know, if you're looking to get better, I would say in terms of tips, I think they started off very strong with Rome going in, Carthage pushing in, but as soon as Carthage started knocking down walls, they just kind of like were too indecisive. It's just get in there, and while your troops are pushing, send up the reserves close behind the wall so they can quickly reinforce whenever there's an opportunity or if you get flanked. Also, Macedon should have pushed. I think he should have just pushed all right here. I don't know why he went this far out. I mean, I get it. If you take this wall, you can push the town center, but you're not. You're not going to take the wall. He had like 3 units. It's not going to be enough. Macedon was probably better off just attacking this wall and trying to push on the flanks that were near his teammates. Because if he was able to break through here, he would get behind the defenders. You know, there would have been a lot of like support teamwork opportunity in this battle. So, yeah. I think that was the biggest mistake. It's just like they were just kind of off a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, they just were a little too indecisive in this fight. And that's why the defenders just kind of walked all over them. Because the defenders, on the other hand, were not indecisive. They you know, usually an indecisive defending force, like in terms of being indecisive on being a defender, it's kind of like you want to send in reinforcements, but you don't. You're like, should I just fall back? Should I send in more? See, that's being indecisive. What we saw was the opposite. Just constant forces streaming in and reinforcing this fight. A good push sally out over on this side against the Romans, which really slowed down the Romans. And even if it didn't wipe out the entire Roman army, it definitely it took away concentration from this main fight to over here. So that's why sometimes sally outs are just good distractions, you know, really good distractions. So yeah, I think that's, we had one team that was indecisive and the other team that was very decisive. And when you do something, like when it comes to Total War, do something. All right, don't just sit there and do nothing. Because technically that is doing something and it's not the right move. Like either be really aggressive or you know, fall back, you know, but do it indecisive, or don't be indecisive. Be decisive. Just whatever you do, be confident about it, and just hope that your troops can do what they need to do in a tough situation. So here we go. Here comes the final bit of this force. Yeah, it's not. Here comes a little bit of a charge. They might actually take out this unit, but at this point it doesn't matter. The elephants are going in. They might actually do a lot of damage here. There you go, good old elephant charge. Yeah. Would have been cooler to see the elephants move in a little bit sooner, back when the battle still had a chance, you know, for the attackers. But here comes those fire arrows. You knew, I mean, the player knew it was coming, the fire arrows, but sometimes you just got to throw them in anyways. I don't really like to make my general like, if you're going to bring an elephant unit, I don't like to make my general have the elephants, because they are very timid and that they will start to freak out, you know, once they get a little bit of fire. So it's too risky. And sometimes when the elephants are running amok and you're deep in enemy lines, you'll still do a lot of damage. But you don't want to throw your general into a situation like that. You know, it just wouldn't be good. And, oh, they charged a lot of their own men. Very unfortunate there. And they've got the final African pikemen. Another unit that would have been awesome to see earlier on in this battle. But this was a very decisive victory. Decisive victory for the defenders, because they were so decisive. But now we just got basically the leftovers. The leftovers throwing themselves in, trying to win this battle. And it's pretty much over. So I hope you guys learned a lot from this fight. The defenders, looking at the defenders, what they did well, they defended this area of the map, very important area of the map to defend. They saw that the enemy was really pushing here and that they were kind of just winning, so they just kept committing in troops. The more they sent in, the more they would send in. So yeah, it just worked out really nicely for the defenders. And I mean, that's all it came down to, is just, you know, don't send your troops in as waves of forces. Just go in as a solid force. I mean, there's always different scenarios that can happen, but in most instances, that's the best tactic. Go in as a solid force, have archers nearby to support. You know, take these walls and put your archers up on them. It's not a terrible idea if you can. Send a siege tower right here. You can put your archers up here, fire down. There's no stairway to get to them, and they can just go back down the, you know, the siege tower. Go back into the city once you take this area. But there we go. There's the last route. That's the battle. A very easy victory for the defenders. We'll end this replay. So this was sent in, I believe, by Vikirliasov415. I slaughtered your name. I'm really sorry. But yeah, 2,500 kills. Very good job. We have the Mercy of Ares, 1,800, and Iceni. Varat Kumar 7 getting a 1,799. So really good job. Carthage, well, actually, look at the kills. The kills aren't terrible for the attackers. I mean, the defenders had such big armies, you know. That's why, I mean, the defenders had a bigger army in terms of numbers. I mean, yeah, a bigger army. So the attackers had more quality troop. But yeah, they killed a lot, but it just wasn't enough. So GG to all the attackers here. This was a lot of fun. I hope you guys learned some new new stuff, learn from the mistakes of others. It's a good life lesson kind of thing. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this battle. And I'll see you guys next time on the battlefield.